are.
You don't have your mic.
Wow. We're back. Oh, hang on. Kind of disorganized.
We are disorganized, and Tim's not even in the picture.
There we go.
So head on in.
So,
Hello, everybody. If you're joining us, welcome. Welcome on the YouTube channel. We can't see your comments. We can't see who's there.
yeah, we can.
We can?
We can see the YouTube comments. If there's YouTube comments, we can see them.
Well, now that we have a few people at the party, I think it's time to start, since it's not just us.
No, it's our 31st wedding anniversary.
And guess what? I'm back at the studio because
reunited and it feels so. So, is it copyright infringement if you sing someone else's song like crap?
I don't know.
By myself.
I think if they played that, what do you call it? That
I don't want to be
tune master, they wouldn't recognize it.
auto tune.
I think you're good.
I don't think you could auto tune that.
No, I think no. What's the app called where you play it and listen to the song? Anybody know?
No idea.
I thought you had it on your. I thought we're paying big money on Apple for you to have it. $35 a year. I guess we don't use it. Time to lose.
What are you talking about?
There's an app on your phone where you hit the button when a song is playing.
Oh, Shazam. I don't pay for that.
Oh. Hi, Desiree. I don't even know if she likes to be called Des, and so I should not do that.
Well, I call her Queen D. I don't know if she likes that either, but it's too bad.
I think she probably prefers Queen D over Des. Anyway. So cheers. Here's the 31 years. I came back for the anniversary from Hawaii because I was there for a long time and got R&R. And like my spouse, I don't leave on anniversaries. And we are going to dish all about that.
We are. You were gone for a long time, and then later you love me long time.
No.
That is the trade-off.
No,
gone long time. Gone long time.
Okay, both work. Okay. Perfect. I love it.
It is weird though. This studio.
I might refer to Des and Tim. I like Queen D.
That
sounds good.
This studio gets really hot, and I shut the air conditioning off a little while ago. So,
and you haven't even started your cocktail, so it's going to get hot in here.
Oh, another song. It's getting hot in here.
Let's not take off all our clothes. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, not on the live stream. Not on live stream. So, anyways, what are we going to talk about, May? What? We have some questions that were posed to us about
what we're talking about this week. Everybody is our cocktail of the day, and since it's our anniversary, we're talking about us. I'm sorry, since we talk about us anyway, but we decided it would be really fun to share the best moments, the worst moments, and some of the secrets to our success, I guess, if you've made it to 31 years.
I guess that's success.
Yeah. And
the Duchess of Success.
Mitch wanted us to share some of the best dates and worst date ideas. So we will do that. And then we're going to just do a little play on some of the antics of our life. But yeah, if you're here and you want to hear some of the behind the scenes of our life, then welcome.
And we have, I'm being a producer here. We also have
what do we have? We have photos. So if you're listening to this on the replay on Monday on your morning commute and you're like, what
you want to go to YouTube or Rumble or Facebook?
Yes. But if you're listening to it, I will narrate what's going on. So Tim has just posted a really horrible, hideous picture of us from the...
That is from 1980. No, I know exactly when that was.
It is the 80s.
That was the year the Rough Riders won the Gary Cup. That was 1989.
It was at our friend's wedding.
Yes, and he's still married as well.
And we are not married at this point because we got married in 92.
Because who would marry that tie or that dress?
That dress is like... I don't know. I think it's coming back in style. At least I was in Hawaii. It's in style.
It's like,
and that necklace is back in style. The big chunky, but that hair.
Yeah, that dress is.
That is my hair.
That dress is. Grandma called and said, "Give me back my drapes."
Oh,
I need my drapes.
Okay, but that
My
hair,
window coverings.
that hair, and I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about yours.
No, that I had major
Tim, it looks like Tom
multitude.
Selleck meets I don't know.
Ron Jeremy.
No, gross. Maybe the lead singer from Megadeth, because he's
Dave
short.
Mustaine. He's not
Megadeth.
He's not short.
Metallica.
He's not short either.
Iron Maiden. Then
he's short.
sorry,
Yes.
Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson
Oh
is short.
gosh.
Yes, he is.
I was reaching. You guys
that
weren't
is-
helping me out. Anyway, so look at that. How cute. What a couple. Tim was shorter than me then, although he wouldn't admit it, and he's way shorter than me now.
It's amazing what 600 skydives, 35,000 miles of running, and essentially treating your body like an amusement park will do for your disc spaces in your spine. They don't get bigger.
Yeah, so that affected your spine, and me, it affected all the other joints of my body, like my hips, my elbow, and more. So
Correct.
you got any other goodies to show?
So
okay.
this picture, this is a total success story. This picture.
We are showing the picture of
that is literally
getting
2 seconds
engaged
after I proposed to May. We did it whilst we were getting our graduation pictures from medical school. And I didn't tell the photographer. It was awesome. She said, let me see your hands, because May was holding this book. And I said, if you're going to show her hands, she better be wearing this. And I pulled the ring out and totally surprised her. And then she made harp seal sounds, just like what a harp seal makes after you club it with a bat.
And what does that sound like, Tim?
It sounds like the sound you made.
That is really rude and disgusting.
But it was charming at the time.
Apparently,
it was endearing.
you like harp seals because you still.
It was endearing.
Didn't run away. Yeah. So
she was very overwhelmed. I surprised her because we knew we were in a position where we had to get married or break up because of residency training and whatnot. So
look at me.
It was fascinating that I actually surprised her.
5.5-year-old me.
I know. It's amazing.
And you go back to that. You dressed up for that occasion, just like you dressed up tonight for the occasion.
I did.
In your best T-shirt of the day.
My T-shirt from Hong Kong when I went when I went to Nepal, and I stopped in Hong Kong on the way. Yeah, of course.
The T-shirt of the day. I love it. And T-shirt of the day today, of course,
Harley Davidson
is Harley. He's dressed up.
Yes,
for the occasion.
It is.
So, that's a great picture. And
then the next one is actually
sealing the deal. I call this picture sealing the deal.
Sealing the deal.
It's our wedding picture, me and Tim making out in the church. And now that
in a little
that
chapel,
photo, I'm way
crazy.
taller than Tim because the giant headdress that we wore back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, but with the giant headdress, your head was almost the same size as mine. It's when you're competing with Jimmy Neutron, it's pretty painful. And then what do we have? We have the official.
Oh, look at that. And are you cleaned up nicely? You got that stash trimmed. Your hair's been shorn as well as your back hair, but we won't talk about that.
I didn't have back hair yet. And I didn't have ear hair.
Anyway,
that was coming soon to a theater near you.
Look at those eyes. Look at that handsome couple. I still have the dress. You probably didn't put that picture up, but I still have the dress. And I did a remake, a photo shoot of that for a charity event a couple of years ago.
And actually, remarkably, you had to have it taken in
because there's nothing like med school to give you the college. What do they call it?
The freshman 15.
Freshman 15 added up every year.
And then,
so it became
this is another slide that we've had before, but that's what we look like now.
Oh.
Or you could just watch the other. So
look at that.
There you go.
That was so sweet. So Karen still has her dress. 34 years for you. Congratulations. I still have my dress. It got a little trashy, but I did it survived pretty well. And I don't know, I might try to put it on at 40 years. So that would be fun. The headdress, not so much. I think that one got tossed around at a girl's
it's kind of weird. Like like the whole wedding thing is kind of weird, right? Because you get the women buy this dress and you're kind of roped into buying the dress for this one occasion, which is cool. And I get it. It's this memento, whatever. But at the same time, the guy just rents this tux and it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. The story of my dress is pretty simple. I wasn't that picky or into anything. I don't know, I wasn't a real princess back then, but it was the first dress I put on. I'm like, I feel like a princess, and I tried on a few others, and I'm like, no, and it was the cheapest. So that's not how I roll now, is it?
No.
I got the King Midas touch. I learned it from him.
Yes,
I guess.
did. You married the King Midas touch.
Funny. Yeah, you touch me, I turn to gold and everything I want to buy. Anyway.
No, you touch me, you get the gold. That's how that works. Yeah, they call that a quid pro quo. Man, I keep drinking this. I won't be able to say quid pro quo.
Karen, I love your idea. Can you rent wedding dresses?
Why? That would be a great business idea.
I would love that idea. Except, you know what? Somehow I guess they don't get trashed. Your friend stepped on my dress because he thought it would be fun to
try to trip
us, and it did rip a little bit.
Right.
But
interestingly, he got married in 1989, and he is still married as well. Very happily married, by the way.
A lot of your friends still are, which is good.
Yes.
I think I like that idea. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I don't know. That's a good business plan. So I thought it would be fun to did you share any, or did you get anything uploaded, Tim, about where we met in our first date? I don't know if our first date's very exciting to talk about, although in my mind what our first date was might be a little different than yours. Vignesh, I'm glad you liked the women. He transitioned quite nicely, didn't he?
Yeah,
I would say so.
Yeah. Do you want the? Here we have a video.
Going down to the secret locker lounge.
There's what the lockers are, but now they're no more. That's where I slipped the secret log notes in Tim's locker.
She did.
I think someone actually put human heart and some other gross parts in someone's locker too, but.
And then there was a bathroom right here where one of my classmates was absolutely in agony with a kidney stone, and I pulled his locker off of his lock off his locker, and I kicked it into the women's bathroom while he's like sweating bullets because he's trying to die.
Can you point out exactly where the locker was?
On the left.
This is where it all began.
30 years ago.
That's right. More than that.
Now to the chapel.
Chapel.
He said I do. So that was fun. Last summer we did a little thing where we go back in the summer to Tim's hometown where we met in university, and our real and video producer Mitch came with us because he's a family friend, and he recorded all that for us. But we have reels. If you flip back through Instagram or Facebook, you will find a little series that we did last summer of where we met in med school, getting married at the chapel. We revisited that. It was super fun, and it was a great time. So we will be heading back this summer, but that's from then. So we thought we would share that just that you could see where it all began. We met in med school, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because we did a little series on it on our podcast way back. Go back to episodes 2 through 5. We talk about us, how we met, how it all began. And yes, we met in med school. Very boring. Lots of there's like 5 couples in med school that met. I stalked Tim because I had a big crush on him. We were friends to begin with. We actually started rock climbing together in this little group of friends that did indoor sport climbing. And anyway, started to fall hard for the guy. And I stalked him, leaving little love notes, and made this fun trail of disguised writing and poetry, and dropped hints about myself. And finally he figured it out. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was
I don't know. It was several months later.
Anyway.
Yes.
He figured it out, and then we started dating. Although we went out to dinner one time before while we were friends. You had to pick your mom and dad up from the airport from a trip that they were on to Asia or something. And we went out to Saigon Rose for Asian food. And I was infatuated with them. And I thought, this is the best date I'm ever on. And it's not really a date. So there you go, Mitch. That was our first date. But the official first date was to a concert at a church event with your friend. And that was our first date at a church. There you go.
Sorry, pretty boring.
That's the foundation of our relationship, like it or not. So I would say that, in our relationship, We dated for what? We were officially dating
for a year,
for a year. We got engaged February 13th.
not the 14th because that's cheesy. So I did the 13th.
That's when the pictures were taken that we
February
posted.
13th, and then we got
And
married
then I
on
planned
May the
the-
what?
I planned the
Because you can't
wedding.
remember the day.
Shut it. I planned the wedding from a hospital bed while I got my first ACL reconstruction on my 2 weeks of vacation. I was in the hospital for a week back in the day. And we got married May 24th, 1992, 4 days after we graduated med school.
Correct.
Graduated Thursday, married Sunday. Bada bing, bada boom. Did our residency. Oh, what a fun year that was.
Yeah, that sucked. That if we
That
would
would be the low of lows in our relationship.
that was absolutely 100% the low of lows in our relationship. If we would not have had our faith and what we believed marriage was about, that year would have ended in either divorce or homicide or both.
Yeah. So
I would.
if you guys are listening and want to post some low moments of your marriage that are tough times, you don't have to share too much. That would be great. We can talk about that. So the first year was really rough because A, I hated it. B, I was still recovering. I had depression, but I had an eating disorder. I was still recovering, struggling through that. Let's say not even recovering. And I really was struggling with medicine. I said, if I fail this internship year, the first year, I will go to Macy's or the Canadian equivalent, Eaton's or whatever it was.
The Bay.
Hudson's Bay Company, and sell makeup or perfume or clothes. I don't care.
And sell sealskins from the Bay.
I'll sell
in
harp seals.
In
stuff.
Tuktoyaktuk.
But not only that, we were in separate call groups of 3. We saw each other every third day, and usually one of us was sleeping to recover from the previous 36 hours we'd been awake. And then my sister, bless her heart, moved in with us after the first 6 months of marriage because that the reasons don't matter, but we were there to support her. My mom and dad thought it would be good to have a roommate, etc. She was going through her own issues, so we had a roommate problems. It was tough. And poor guy here, I'm sure he would have left if he could have run away, but he was stuck at the
Run
house.
away to what, though? I mean, that's the point, right? Like the whole point of this is you make a life, and making a life is not easy. Making a life, by definition, is really, really hard. And when you understand that things are challenging and they're hard, and that what makes a life is discipline and commitment and love and all of these things we talk about, it's not speaking into the universe and the universe speaking back to you. I'm sorry. That's just kind of, it's horse shit. It's about practical stuff.
Right.
You know, people go, how come these rock stars or these whoever's, you know, these marriages don't last? Well, if you're on tour for years at a time and you're never with your spouse and women are throwing themselves at you, chances are your marriage isn't going to last.
Yeah.
No matter how much character you actually have, you can't, there's certain pressures that are unsustainable. Life is about figuring out how to navigate those pressures in the most reasonable way. And then you make a life. That's how it is. And the quality of your relationships, kids, is the quality of your life. That is the bottom line.
Well, let's just say that the fairy tale ended quickly for us after the 3-week honeymoon in the Caribbean because the real life hit hard and fast for us. So,
but you know what? Having been thrown straight into that cauldron was actually not that bad of a thing. Way better than slowly growing apart and having kids and a mortgage and all of this, and then having your marriage crash and burn. I mean, as horrible as that was, and it was really bad, to have sustained that and then be able to look back and say, we can make it because we've already made it. I think that is unbelievably powerful. And it's practical things. It's like I've said, and I will keep saying this, and I will hammer away on this. If you are not looking to meet the needs of your spouse more than you are looking for what they can give you, then you are not in a marriage. You're in a hostage negotiation. And unfortunately, you're both hostages.
yes.
And so
yes,
that's the key.
We've learned a lot.
The key is, what do you need from me and how can I do that? And please, women, 100%, please, I beg you, put to death this notion that if he really loves me, he'd know what I want. No, he wouldn't, because he's thinking about scratching his right nut and who's playing football this weekend. That's what he's thinking about. Now, he wants to try to please you and meet your needs, but he doesn't know what those are, because we're like thinking about random guy
Sex,
stuff. Yes, exactly.
sports.
Yes. Well, let's talk about sex, shall we?
Well, we did this in an episode
know.
with the Noms. We have a really good podcast episode where we talked about relationship challenges. And I will scroll back here in a minute and find it to share with you all. But we can talk about that. I wanted to keep it light and funny, but if we're going to talk about
Sorry,
sex,
I got heavy.
If we're going to talk about sex, I guess it would be light and funny for this episode.
I'm just going to give you my little tiny, non-X-rated, most important thing you'll ever learn about sex in a marriage. It's the greatest quote I ever heard from some marriage counselors that we had been watching a gazillion years ago. And it's really simple. Really simple. Okay, here it is. Men don't feel safe in a marriage unless they're getting sex. Women don't give sex unless they feel safe. Holy crap. I wonder if there's a chance for some conflict there. So then the question is, as a husband who truly loves his wife, how do I make her feel safe? Well, you know what you do? You meet her emotional needs, which means you shut the TV off and you listen to her.
You mean you just don't have to flip a switch?
No, but
And make it happen?
you learn how to listen. That's probably the most powerful thing you can do. And for me, May is a acts of service. Her love language is she loves acts of service. So for me, it was emptying the freaking dishwasher.
I think I'm all the love languages. I think I like stuff and acts of
You do.
service.
You like gifts.
And I like
But you do like acts of service.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And I like physical touch. Just regular physical touch. Just regular hugging. Just that. Just touch. And then the sex part is not a separate one. I think we missed one.
Right. But that's the key.
Anyway.
So it starts with, guess what? Communication.
Yes.
What do you need from me and how can I meet your needs? And then when your husband does something that's good, then just say, hey, that really meant something to me when you did this.
Yes.
So
you've got to give him some positive reinforcement. Like give
right,
the
like,
dog
hey,
a pat on the back when he goes in his
but
right
you gotta
spot
think
on
you
the
gotta
lawn.
think like a guy. Like you're golfing with your buddies and you launch a 285-yard bomb down the middle of the fairway and they all slap you in the back and they might be jealous as hell, but they're like, dude, that was awesome. You rocked that. That was cool. That's how you got to speak each other's language.
Think Neanderthal ladies. No, that's just
cruel. Neanderthal.
But,
no, think the guy that's gonna kill the freaking lion before he eats your family. Isn't that attractive? I think that's probably
it's
attractive.
not always romantic, but you have to spell it out sometimes. And
why
that's
do
okay.
I have to spell it out?
And this is what I've learned.
Why?
This is what I've learned, and to do it in the way that's not demeaning and treating him like a toddler or Neanderthal. It's to put it in a way that he understands. So I know my husband. I know that he likes cars and sports, and so I think about how he would think about things if it was a sporting event, or what it means to him if it was a car. If I left a banana peel in there in the car and it was starting to rot.
It's like,
which I might have done in the past in my own car.
It's like I'm kind of messy, not terrible when I'm alone in the house. And then that would drive May crazy. But then she'd get in a car, which is like a tiny, like it's what, like 5 square feet.
One
and there's
degradable banana peel drove him crazy.
And there's like fruit debris.
One banana.
Like, how does that make sense?
Anyway.
But you get pissed off about the magazines? I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Magazines.
I fail to understand.
Okay. So I would frame it in a way that he could relate to. Make it into a sports analogy or a car analogy or something that he's into. And it's like, when you do this, it's like if this and this happened. And he's like, I get it. Really? but it's the way to communicate
No,
in a
there-
way that each other understands. So
Exactly. And there is a little bit of caveman, like seriously, like the Tim Allen stuff with the that's true. And I think honestly, I don't know, I'm not a woman, but I think that that's kind of attractive. Like you want the guy that's going to kill the mastodon before the mastodon kills your family.
yeah, and I would say, and it's different for us. It's very difficult sometimes to relate because my brain sometimes is more like a man, and Tim's is more like a woman. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and not always in our house. So we have to flip things around a little bit, but guys have to remember that women want to be heard, and so sometimes
And women need to understand that men want to be blown. Sorry, he wanted some comedy. Like I said that. I'll be
Wait.
watching football and May's like, you're not paying attention to me. And I'm like, you're still wearing clothes.
show up naked and bring me a sandwich. You have heard that before.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not to be taken offensively. You should, I guess, in some ways respect that he's still attracted to you and that's important to him. But guys need to remember to listen. And listening just doesn't mean sitting there nodding your head going, That's not listening, because it's going to come back and bite you on the ass, because you know what? She's going to say something which says, I'm going to go buy that expensive Kate Spade or Louis Vuitton purse, okay, just to test you. And you're going to go, And then she'll show up with this thing and you'll see the credit card bill and you'll be like, what the heck? Well, you listened. So undivided listening time for the wife is important. Women need that. And if you, let's see, I'm trying to change this in my brain, flip this, because usually women like to talk in our relationship. If you haven't figured it out, to the talkers, this one. And so sometimes I need to cut him off and say, you need to listen to me. But I'm just as guilty, and I will admit it, that he's going on and on and on. And I'm like, oh, really?
Little STFU, right?
I will just sit there and look through him and not really listen and pay attention. And that's not fair either. So then I've learned, to be fair, to say, okay, I will give you this amount of time because I have something to do, or can you stop for a minute and repeat that, please? Because I really wasn't listening because something else was going through my brain. And that I think means something to him,
right,
because it's saying that I want to listen. I haven't been able to.
And oh, by the way, we were discussing where we're going on vacation next year, and I don't really care about the history of Crimea and the Black Sea.
Did you say that? Did I miss that?
No, I say shit like that all the time.
I'm like, oops, I might have missed that. Anyway, so that's I was going to save that seriousness for the end.
Well, we're already at 29 minutes, so I don't know.
The glue that holds things together, but communication is key. Trust is key. And let's talk about some more fun things, I guess, in our relationship.
Well, why don't we do yes, okay,
let's share what we have for cocktails this evening. You know, tonight's episode is brought to you with, that's what I'll say, brought to you with Crater Lake vodka, made in Oregon.
Made in Bend, Oregon.
I have the hazelnut espresso on ice.
That is
dessert in a glass. If you like coffee and vodka, because that's all I drink. No,
who doesn't like coffee and vodka? Mormons.
Hazelnut espresso vodka is on ice is great. Now
this is just the regular.
Tim
vodka.
Is drinking the Crater Lake regular vodka, and I'll hold it back here where it's in focus, honey. What I like about it is gluten, as my daughter would say. Sorry.
They're all gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Gluten is not going to live in 40% alcohol. I'm sorry. That's just,
if you look it up,
insane.
Most vodkas are gluten-free because they distill it so many times. The gluten can't stick to the vodka and it's gone when it's distilled. But depending what they make it out of, I think this is corn.
She swears she can tell the difference. I think
I can usually tell. The wheat vodkas have this kind of barley, like beer to them, but corn or a potato. Usually it's corn if they don't.
The one we got to try now for another comparison that I think is really amazing is Ciroc, which is grapes.
Oh, I love Ciroc.
Which is grape.
But Crater Lake, thank you for being on our 31st wedding anniversary podcast. We thank you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there
And
you
we
go.
thank you more if you send us money. We would always appreciate that.
Have you mixed yours with anything, dear?
I mixed it with this lemonade stuff, but
So
I forgot
the lemonade
to
he forgot to bring in. And the cocktail is with Knutson's with a K. Knutson's
Knutson's.
strawberry lemonade at Trader Joe's. They have different flavors. The stuff is delicious.
Big fan of Trader
Low
Joe's.
carb, I believe. And they have strawberry lemonade, regular lemonade, and some other flavors. So for a light, summery strawberry lemonade
Yes. It's really good.
martini,
It's very good.
there you go. Crater Lake vodka and Newton.
What are we doing?
Knutson's,
What are we doing
juice.
after the podcast?
So we are having dinner at home.
With
And-
a giant piece of meat.
This is a tomahawk steak.
I think the 31st anniversary is the giant meat anniversary.
I've never
yes.
eaten a tomahawk steak.
Yes. This is
That-
an unbelievably expensive piece of meat.
And it's brought to us through Oregon Valley Farms. They've been our sponsor. So Oregon Valley Farms, thank you for that big tomahawk steak that we got on a wonderful sale that you have. You guys need to
Yes,
check
it
them
was
out.
good.
They're local, and we've talked about them so many times. They have great organic, hormone-free, antibiotic-free beef, cattle, pork. Oh, cattle is beef. Whoops. Beef, chicken, pork products in the Pacific Northwest area. I think chicken comes from California. It's amazing, all of the meat, and we love their stuff.
Yeah,
and that's what we're having.
that is, though, tomahawks are special occasions. That's not cheap. That's 2
no,
pounds.
and we're
of meat.
sharing it.
And it's a very, it's expensive.
Yep.
And I would just like to say that sometimes in this relationship, I feel like a very expensive piece of meat. So
I'm speechless. I get. Oh my goodness. You're a total winner. Did you have some more videos to share before
Yeah,
we get
we'll
on to
share
the top 3 highlights and the top 3 worst
one more
moments
one,
of our marriage?
one or two more. I don't know. We got a video. Chapel we got married in. It is
Oh, yes.
now
The chapel we got
Graduate
married in.
Students Association building, but all of the stained glass and so forth is here, and it is just an absolutely stunning setting, like just wild.
So happy that they preserved all of that, and like the wood and the arches and the beams is impressive. Really kind of cool to come back here because it really has been 30 years since we set foot
We have
in
not.
here, and we've
I've not been in this
here.
building since the last time I was here.
You were crying. Was the last time
That's
we were
right.
here.
I was crying.
Maybe that was a bad thing.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, this is really cool. I love it.
Spectacular.
It almost makes me feel like I need to go back to university again.
No, I never feel like I want to have to go back to university again.
Nice. I see you're sporting the Sturgis shirt that time, my dear.
I gotta class that shit up every once in a while.
So that was the chapel we got married in, right across the street from the medical school. Great place. It's still intact, although they're not using it as a chapel anymore. They have some education, master's classes in there, which is kind of weird. But we
It's
were
a student. I think it's the student union building.
for something.
So thank you, Canada.
We were honored that they let us just go.
No,
in
they
there,
were
walk around and
very,
film.
very
It was
gracious
it
to
was
us.
great.
We said we got married in here 30 years, and it was awesome. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, you got married, eh? Well, no one gets married here, eh? Because it's Canada, and they don't do that anymore. But if you get sick, we'll kill you.
So
They didn't say that. They were very good.
No, they were great. Have you thought through any of these little questions that I threw your way? Do you have any best moments in our marriage together? As Mitch would ask, best date nights or dates, or any thoughts?
Here it's not. I did think of this,
Okay.
and it is not. There's moments. There was not any absolutely. This was the moment. There's a couple I can think of, but I think the thing that gets me the most, that makes me feel the most taken care of, is when you get me.
Oh, that's just
And-
sweet, but not to the point I was asking.
No, but it is okay.
You're
So
gonna-
for
he's all
instance,
sappy today.
So-
Wow. See, as you can tell from the video, because he was the guy that crying at the wedding. He's the emotional
Right.
needs guy.
right? I need an emotional support.
Animal, me.
Yes.
Thanks for saying that.
The cat.
Just put a little shirt on me at the grocery store and a little neck brace with the leash and just say emotional support animal.
That is going in a place that we never, ever need to go. Ever. But in San Francisco, it's that they call that Thursday. So at any rate, no, I mean, so for instance, there's a lot of times. I loved windsurfing. I loved going to the gorge. We eventually moved here largely because of that. May's like, she would come to the gorge every weekend with me and hang out with our friends. We made some very good friends there. It was great, but she never really got into it. So it was not really an equal experience, but she felt that it was important enough for our relationship, so she did it. Like, it's that stuff. It's my car stuff, which she appreciates and she enjoys to a certain degree, but it's not her thing. And so that, I think, is unbelievably powerful. Unbelievably powerful. You do have to have shared interests. I'm a big believer in that, and you do need to do stuff together. But May and I do a lot together that a lot of people don't do. We've worked together a lot. We do the podcast together a lot. You know, this is now becoming a business that is a big deal to do as a husband and wife. So we don't necessarily have as much recreational activity together, and we need to work on that, especially as we get towards retirement, which will not be too hard.
Wait a minute.
But we've done tons of recreational stuff together. Okay, I'm full of shit.
I call BS.
Oh,
Our entire life together. Who got dragged in and
that's what I'm saying. You got dragged in. You got dragged in because you appreciated me.
Okay. Well, dragged in and pulled along on the adventures
And
of
injured.
the day and injured.
Numerous times.
And I'm usually the one getting injured and all this stuff. And along the way, I grew to really like a lot of the things. Yes. And Tim pushed me. And some of the things I did not like. And I said, bag this bullshit. Like windsurfing, I tried, one of the hardest sports ever to learn in my book. And I'm a pretty good athlete.
Yes.
So I tried it.
Followed closely by kiting, which is awesome.
Hated
to
wind
learn
and
at
quit.
60.
But I see what you're saying is that, yeah, for a while, it was a little lopsided because he's the high action seeking, thrill seeking adventure guy. And so if we wanted to do stuff together, I would have to tag along. And if it was more like lay on the beach or go chill, he'd do it for 10 minutes. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't take it. And I'm like, I guess we're going to do anything together. I got to learn to buck up and play along. So that part was a little lopsided for a while, although there was some things we could find together. But to Tim's point, we work together, and although not exactly side by side, but often in the same building, very close by, in the same profession, we could always bounce stuff off each other. A lot of things, sports we did together, we did family activities. And so for us, when people go, you take separate vacations, it's honestly because we do so much together that him going to Sturgis with the guys or kite surfing, or me going with my girlfriends or friends to a tropical location is not like, I don't know. It's like, it's just like somebody would go into the bedroom or study or the man cave to get away, or the garage. So I think that's helpful. But what I was going to say is best moments in our marriage. I guess I'm thinking more specifically than you. You didn't pick actual events. Mine are similar. I was going to say, I remember I was thinking, and I was flipping through pictures, and I thought the very first half marathon I did was for my 40th birthday. And it was in Victoria, Canada. And Tim's like, I'll run it with you. Cause I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And it was cold and dark and it was painful. And he was there, and he was my support, emotional support, physical support. And we crossed the finish line. He ran, of course, he had to finish before me. A few
Did I?
yards
I can't
ahead.
remember.
Yeah, you sprinted to the finish line ahead.
I've never finished before you ever in our marriage.
Always kidding.
Ooh, that's
I'm
smarted.
you actually, the funny part of that is because we are so competitive naturally when it comes to those kind of sport things. It's always that way. It's just like, okay, I'm doing this with you, but I gotta get across the finish line 10 steps ahead. But anyway, that meant a lot to me, and I love that. And I would say there's a few times in life, and this is for Mitch. This is not a date, but this was something we did together. We went on this mission trip together in the Philippines, and I really love doing missions, and I was the one to do actually most of them. And then Tim joined us and our team on this really crazy adventure trip into the jungle of the Philippines for 3 days, where we had to backpack in and carry all of our crap on our back. The medicines were taken in by some Sherpa local guys ahead of us, but we had to carry everything we wanted
Even though in
on our back.
northern Luzon in the Philippines, they're like 6,000 miles away from Sherpas, but that's okay.
So we went into these three little villages where no doctors had been before. So we stopped. The first one was really close. This was a little trail. We get in there, and then that night after the clinic, it was like, in order to, get to the next town for the next day, we have to hike out tonight, but it's not far. There's a nice little trail. It's like an hour and a half on the trail. Would be really quick. According to the locals who know the area and are nimble and swift and know the trails. And so let me just go really quickly through this story and say, we had the packs on our back, and our group of, I think 7 or 10 at the most of us, got split up. The sun was setting. It's the jungle, and trails in the Philippine jungle basically consist of walking along a balance beam sized area along the edge of a rice paddy terrace that drops off below you into the next rice paddy or the abyss. And that was the trail. And so Tim and I got separated from everybody else.
And then we got lost.
And then it got dark. And if you were feeling unsteady in your feet, you wanted to fall to the left into the little wet rice paddy instead of to the right off the cliff. And then we got to this one area where it was slippery and wet and steep. And there was one of those rickety swinging bridges over a big ravine made out of old World War II, railroad ties and rope and cables. And at one point, we couldn't see. We didn't know where we were. And I was sliding down a hill, and I thought, I am going to die in the jungle, or both of us, and our kids will be parentless. And it was emotional. And at that point, Tim he just reached out to me. We prayed. He's like, just go slow. I'm here. We're together. I'll help you. I've got your back. And man, I couldn't have made it.
And then, of course, I said, did you see the snake? No, I didn't.
That
would have been awesome.
I don't know. That really stuck out to me. It just popped into my head today. So that was a really crazy date. There you go. What a date. I don't know.
Yeah, that was.
But we've done a lot of stuff together, and we've had a lot of moments like that where you just have complete faith and trust in the other person and the God above to get you through that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I think
fun times. So we've done stuff like that together that really is built our relationship.
The one thing, and we could maybe wrap it up on this, which I think is hilarious.
Oh, you haven't had a worse moment. We got to share some.
Well, here's kind of a worse moment, but I don't want to go down that trail. It's too happy, and I want to cook massive meat. So,
and nobody's like throwing out any comments. So we're just blathering on
anyway,
here instead of interacting with the audience. It's supposed to be here's your time to talk to us.
Here's the thing, right? So our daughter is literally maybe a month old, maybe 6 weeks old.
You're telling the story about when I ran away from home and nobody noticed?
No,
that was 6 months.
That was very low, but I'm talking about when we went to see Titanic.
Oh.
And we roll into the local theater, which was in and of itself quite an adventure. And we had a nurse that worked for me who is still a family friend, watch our literally 1 month old. And there's kids in front of us in the theater going, "Oh, those people, they're all dead. They all die." And they're just talking. And I just said, you know what? You keep that talking up, you shall join them. And that worked. So then we watched Titanic, and May's all emotional, and she just had a baby, and she's like, I would never get in the lifeboat
this
without
story.
you. I would go in the water. I would die with you and drown, and I would never leave you, and all this. And then, okay, so then that's all. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
We had our own Titanic moment.
And then about
the next summer,
the next summer, so it was about a year later
or two.
We are in the gorge, and the Columbia River's fairly warm. I mean, for a river, it's 75 degrees or so that time of the year.
It has all those little feeder.
And it has this little
streams.
feeder river called the Klickitat. And it is suck your balls up to make them your tonsils cold, like in the 50s, probably. So we borrowed our friend's jet ski, and he's like, yeah, you can run it up the Klickitat. Just, be really careful because it gets shallow. I don't you run aground.
And he said,
don't
have you ever used a jet ski before? We said, no. He's like, well, just so you know, you can't if you turn really sharp, stay on the gas, don't get off, or it'll tip.
So
what happened?
We get up into the Klickitat. It's totally shaded. The water is 20 degrees colder than what we're used to.
And who's driving?
And I'm like scared to death that I'm going to do something to this guy's jet ski. And I start turning it, and all of a sudden it turns into the Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And it absolutely, like, we are completely off this thing in the water. The water is 55 degrees, and we are clawing over each other's body to get back on the jet ski. And we get back, and we go.
You were worried about saving you and your balls, and I was worried about saving me, and the children needed their mom.
Yeah, whatever. No, it was kill or be killed in like 2 seconds. Okay. It was kill or be killed. And we get back, and we are laughing.
We got back on that thing and we started laughing.
We started laughing,
so
and we're like,
hard.
oh, Titanic. Yeah, right. I'm not getting into the lifeboat.
We're
bullshit. You're clawing my eyes out to get on the lifeboat.
We're both like, oh my gosh, we would have both killed each other just to save ourselves. Okay.
Just like Mr. Ismay, who bullshitted his way onto the lifeboat. Yes. That's a historical reference.
That's pretty funny. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that was that. It's awesome because here maybe this is we should end with this. Reality has a way, if at least your eyes are partially open, of revealing who you really are.
Maybe we need another jet ski experience now to see if it would be different.
You know what we could do? We could probably start like a jet ski marriage experience.
Oh, I'm thinking
where we put people in these super stressful situations, and then they find out who they really are.
Well, you just need to go to one of those marriage counseling weekends like we did. Didn't we have to wear those stupid punching bag?
No. Well, we did the one where it was they had the talking stick, but the talking stick was this fridge magnet, and it was quite sharp. And we got maybe 10 minutes into, and we didn't really feel like we had any major issues at that point, but we got into about 10 minutes of not even 10 minutes. I bet you 5 minutes of passing the talking stick. So you can only, and I was like, I am going to gouge. I'm going to puncture your skin with the talking stick. And she was like the same way. And I just looked at her and I go, this is total bullshit. Okay. No, you can't say anything because I have the floor. See?
I don't know.
I was like, dude, that is completely insane.
Some people might need to use that technique.
Maybe.
For us, it didn't work.
It was not good.
No. So we would not employ that technique in any of our marriage counseling classes. We have done some, but
oh man, yeah. No, yeah. It's like, I'd like to get the talking club, please.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have the talking club. I know, because I just clubbed you with the talking club. Yeah, no, that was some good for us.
Well, we've had some funny moments. We've had some down moments, which, I guess
maybe we could do a Debbie Downer episode, right?
I'm no Debbie Downer. I'm the one that had the 7-year itch twice. Didn't have an affair, but really kind of wanted to pull the plug on the marriage. and ran away from home with postpartum depression. You don't go far in Sweet Home in the middle of the night when nothing's
There's no
open
gas stations.
and no gas.
And I would siphon the gas out just to keep
Oh, that's what happened.
just to keep the bitch at home. No, I didn't, but I couldn't resist. Like, you put the ball on the tee. People say stuff. They put the ball on the tee and they don't expect me to smack the hell out of it. That is irresponsible on their part, not on mine. If you put the ball
I
on
haven't
the
learned
tee,
31 years and I
you
haven't
put
learned
the
that
ball
yet.
on the tee, I will hit the ball. It is always tea time.
Well, we got to stay married so that I can perfect my craft with
Siphoning
you.
gas.
Siphoning gas.
Man, that would have actually been brilliant if I would have thought of
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I've been siphoning your money away.
that. Well, you made a lot of it too, so it's not that one. You know, may not have been entirely equal as far as earnings, but you also stayed home with the kids a lot. And I remember those days when you would work on Fridays and I would be home 100% with the kids. And our kids were really quite good.
Oh yeah.
And there would be times
It's
where I would
that's
call
we
her.
beat them into submission.
Well, don't say that.
I am kidding.
Yes,
I am kidding.
they were well loved and very well disciplined. And honestly, like I think
Growing kids.
I think
God's
the worst
way,
thing. I think the
right? Remember that?
No, don't do that.
Growing-
Don't do that to me.
What?
I think the worst our son ever. I think the worst punishment
Don't do
ever
that to me.
was hot sauce in his mouth for saying something naughty, and then he had a big histrionic
And,
attack.
Well,
It
let's
was like-
just so that CSD doesn't report us even retroactively. The hot sauce was literally on one tine
Yeah,
of one of the fork. It was literally I put it in one drop and put it on his tongue.
Oh, no,
I
that
did not dump hot
man. If
sauce
we had
in his
video of
mouth.
that, we would have 10 billion followers. That was so funny.
There has been horrible things where people have dumped hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not. But just to clarify, it was literally like a tine of a fork drop amount.
Yeah.
And he was so dramatic. It was so
Man,
spectacular.
it was super funny.
I wonder where he got all the drama from.
Yeah,
You?
I know. I
Me?
had no idea.
I think me.
Taking the fifth,
Anyway,
but yeah, I remember calling
so you
you,
stayed home on Fridays,
And I would
you
call
would be
you.
calling me at work,
and there was days,
dying.
and I'm like, okay, you were done. You've been done work for at least 25 minutes.
Where are you?
Why aren't you home? Because we are getting really close to 3 chalk circles.
That's because.
We are getting close to a crime
And
scene.
I said, I'm at the car show that you're missing.
Exactly. I went out for drinks with the boys.
There you
Wrong answer. No, it was yeah,
go.
it worked out. It worked out well. Ultimately, I think our kids got a reasonable amount of time from both of us. I think we did that part.
Well, there's still. Oh, I think
Okay.
you have another video clip to share.
One more clip.
But I
Speaking
think
of kids,
our kids are still liking us since I did enjoy time in Hawaii with our daughter, and our son loves to FaceTime and chat with us still.
no, it was cool. Like the whole vacation time, I went to a show with our son in Arizona, and we had a really great time. Just for an evening, and then May spent a week with our daughter. So let's add this one.
Anniversary. You're welcome. What did you get me?
I did get you something, but it's taking the 5th.
These smell gorgeous.
These are just for you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Tomorrow's our anniversary. Mother's Day was a long time ago. And that is how it goes in our house.
Yeah, but when your kid said, like, literally a rocket scientist, he's like, well, I can't mail them to Hawaii, and she needs to receive them in a certain period of time. Ergo, I shall mail them to the house. It will be delayed, but at least they will be fresh on arrival. And I'm just like, want some gum? So
That's so sweet. But they came yesterday. And, I thought that they were anniversary flowers
Yeah, so
from
did
our
I.
children. And I think they forgot because neither one of them texted us. And they're not listening because they don't watch the show. So boo on you.
No, they have listened to 100% of our bullshit. They need 0% more, is I think kind of the attitude, which is perfectly fine with us.
Anyway,
That's called successful parenting. Okay, we got it.
if you guys got anything to say, type it in the comments section now. How do you read the ones on YouTube, my darling?
Right here. That
Uh,
is YouTube. That is
oh,
YouTube. That
I
is
see.
Facebook, YouTube,
So
YouTube.
Tim is scrolling through the chats and he
Yes.
can tell.
Yes.
They have nothing to
Yes.
say, so I guess that means it is time for us to go.
Well, it's almost an hour, which
And
is enough. And we need to go
cook these
cook
tomahawks.
massive meat,
Yes.
which is bleeding all over me. It's awesome.
So to end this podcast, I don't know. I did the teaser at the beginning. I have to finish it with what happened on our 30th anniversary last year. Your face.
Really?
Anyway. I think we probably already shared that a couple weeks ago when we talked about separate vacations on the Stocktail. So I won't put you under the rug or throw you under the bus or whatever the sayings are too much.
Throw you under the rug bus.
I bought Tim his dream, his car condo last year on our anniversary because we went to Florida together to visit our friends in Orlando. And then Tim said, "Oh, can I go kite surfing next week with my friends from junior high on our anniversary?"
And like I talk like that.
I'm kidding. Anyway, he asked kindly. He was afraid with trepidation because he knew it was our 30th wedding anniversary. He wanted to go with these guys. It meant a lot to him. And I said, you know what? It's our anniversary. It's a date. If this is a chance for you to do something you love, go ahead. I will go hang out by myself in Sarasota. And then, I found his dream car garage, and it was pretty funny because I was telling the guy that it was our 30th wedding anniversary, and he was aghast that I was shopping for Tim's car condo.
Well, it's not going to be just my car condo though. That's the thing. Like we'll put a studio in there.
You're right. It will be owned by both of us. But it's okay. The car condo.
But there will be a man cave in there.
That car condo means a lot to you. A house is, or a condo or a cat box where we're going to live means more to me. And I thought it was awesome that I could do that for you.
I thought it was awesome that you could do that for me.
It meant a lot to me because I know how much the cars are important to you, and I'm not into it. And as much as I flick you crap about it not being there, and the guy was like, but where's the flowers? She's doing this. And that was a pretty funny story. I felt awesome about being able to do that as a gift to you. So I flip them crap and I post it out there, but it was really, I think it just meant a lot to me to be able to do that. So there you go.
I have all of it planned.
So if you guys ask where we're living in Sarasota, it will be in a car garage.
Yeah. We have unit.
Thanks everybody for the wishes, all the happy anniversary wishes.
We really appreciate that. We have unit 13 at Lux Dream Garage in Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Florida. So in the man cave.
You're telling them where to show up to our house, basically.
Well, it won't be
at
our
this
house.
point.
We can't live in it. It's not zoned residential.
It's all
So
could afford.
it will be unit 13. And there will be a bar upstairs in the man cave, and it will be called the 13th Step.
But I think it's going to be the woman cave
but the bar will be called the 13th Step because guess what, kids? 12 ain't quite enough.
Not for Tim.
You go back around to the 13th.
I think that 13th step takes you to heaven for repentance.
Maybe it does. Liver transplant is the 13th step.
So anyway, we love being here with you guys. We love it when you put the comments out there, and thank you for all the happy anniversary wishes from Vicky and Karen and Lariat and Michael and Brenda and Tina and all these people that have touched our lives over the years.
And Amy and Karen.
There you go. Over the past,
I feel like
28
romper
years
room.
that we've been here.
You get the romper room mirror. I see Sally and
There
Alice and Billy. Yeah.
There you go.
That is if you understand that reference, you're old.
Okay. And to wrap it up, I have to do this because Desiree gave us such great ideas. What would be the best show, movie, or persona that represents our marriage to you?
Show?
Pick one, like a TV show or a movie or a persona. We joke about this.
Well, I know I know what you picked.
I know, and I know what you picked.
I mean, as far as she said medical show, and I said house.
Yeah, whose house though?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
I think deep in my heart, I'm more House.
Yes.
But-
And I'm more Wilson.
But verbally,
I'm House.
yeah.
I have the caustic tongue.
But I have the caustic mind. And
Right.
I have the very sarcastic
And you
brain,
picked.
and I will say it to him, but he'll be like,
Oh, boy.
"Ooh." And I said the Huxtables, which is
The Cosby Show.
the Cosby Show. And then you said,
And then I said,
Without-
that's actually really accurate, but without the pervy drug raping.
that wasn't part of the show.
Yeah, but it was part of Cosby. So
Because
you got to
two-
put the pervy drug
two
raping as
professionals, and maybe I should have
Yeah.
picked law. Wasn't she a lawyer?
she was a lawyer.
Yeah.
Of course.
So anyway,
No, you have to put, if you're going to reference Cosby, you got to put the pervy drug raping disclaimer.
but then you know what? I posted a post on our story. It might still be up for the next half an hour of Edith and Archie Bunker, and I used to joke that was us, and would be us as we.
Oh
got
man,
older.
that well, yeah,
she's
but
a
no,
little ditzy.
no,
more ditzy
So,
than I am.
No, I 100% will own the Archie Bunker side. You are not Edith.
Okay.
Not even close. It would be Archie Bunker married to Mrs. Jefferson. That would be far more accurate.
Wheezy? I don't really remember what
Oh
she
yeah,
was like.
she was very classy, because actually we could just be the Jeffersons, because he was kind of the spastic short guy, Sherman Hemsley, that was always going like a million miles an hour, and she was like
I don't remember what she was like.
she was quite stable. And then there was the other couple.
Honestly, if you watch Bob's Burgers, sometimes I feel like
You're
Louise.
Louise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
you're not Bob.
No.
More like Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'm
But-
trying to think of an animated.
But you're not really
character.
Mork.
No, I'm trying to think of an animated. Yeah, well, maybe if I was fueled by cocaine. But
Anyway,
it was the 70s.
So
kids.
there you go. That's our we're definitely not Marcus Welby or
Oh no. I used to tell medical students this. It's like they would ask stuff. It's like, what? They'd ask these weird questions. And I said, dude, I want to be right square in the middle between Marcus Welby and Ted Nugent. And they go, oh, okay, I get it. And then you can't use a Marcus Welby or Ted Nugent reference anymore because they have no idea what you're talking about. So,
yeah, and I'm not really current on any. I'm trying to think of any other recent type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still-
who would be the family doctor that was like the happy dad?
I don't know. We
person?
don't watch
they're
Grey's
not-
Anatomy.
No, there
watch
isn't. They're
ER.
all like lecherous, philandering, whatever. So, anyways, at least with Marcus, there was no adultery. We appreciate that, Marcus. So, I think we have flogged this one to death. I need to go crank up a grill because it's going to take me a while to cook that properly.
I'm not gonna eat it raw like a real man,
Well, I could.
like a real kid.
2 pounds of meat raw. Wow, it's probably not bad for you. Probably good for you, but
See this face?
I don't find it very palatable.
Making a big face.
So
Well, I will imbibe, and we thank you all for being here. Thanks for the wishes. I hope you're enjoying this on the rerun. And
in audio form, which was going to make the audio people become video people, and the video people become audio people. So you can, if you started listening to this and then had to do something really important like sort out your sock drawer, you can listen to it on your way to work.
Mondays, Thursdays is our regular podcast. You can watch it on the Rumble and the YouTube. And we have a new newsletter that is coming to you weekly. Sign up because you get actual other information that we don't share on the podcast.
And the news, what's the newsletter? What's the newsletter called, May?
Truth Serum.
Yes, brilliant.
That I'm collaborating with Queen D with. So fun writings, and Tim drops some truth bombs in there. We will get you that newsletter. There's a sign up coming quickly on our website, bsfreemd.com.
Click and join. Click and join. All things BS
comes
Free
out
MD.
weekly. And this week, do you want to share what we got coming out
Okay,
tomorrow?
This week is one of the best interviews we've ever done. It is Doc Pete Chambers, retired lieutenant colonel. He's a Green Beret. He was the first person as a physician to become a Green Beret. They said, you can't become a Green Beret. You're an officer and a doctor. He said, okay, then I'm going to just quit the military and reenlist and become a Green Beret. And they're like, are you nuts? Okay, you can try the class and see what happens. He
But that's not what we're
graduates.
talking about.
He becomes a Green Beret. He's a super badass. People look up to him because of he's just like a down home, amazing Texas country boy. Plus, he's a doctor. Plus, he gets in firefights. Blah blah blah. Then he becomes a medical whistleblower about the you know what thing that goes in your arm, and all hell breaks loose. And he explains all of the data to us in an amazing way, and it is unbelievable. And he talks about his experiences, and they're super moving and amazing. And he brought us to puddles. We were puddles. This guy has such a big heart. You have to listen to this. It is unbelievable.
Yeah. Dropping on May
25th. Tomorrow.
Check out that podcast. And we also have some other great stuff coming up, including a rare diamond in the rough, an endocrinologist that believes the food pyramid is bullshit. It should be flipped upside down, like the what's the cartoon called? I've lost
South Park.
South Park episode. But
I am dripping juicy meat
Anyway,
all over the studio.
so that's really amazing. She talked an endocrinologist who shares how to get diabetics off most of their medications, if not all, reverse their diabetes to a healthier life, and more. So Pete Chambers, check it out. That will be dropping soon. And check out our newsletter on all our socials. Thanks for being here, everybody. We love you. See you next time.